incredibly important when you're trying to use coaching tools, techniques, coaching approach with the people that you work with. Really important to concentrate and focus on that listening process. And there are a number of pitfalls, a number of mistakes that you can make when you're trying to have a coaching conversation. So you really need to think about the environment you're coaching in. So in the middle of a busy clinical area at the end of a 12-hour shift, probably obvious to you all that's not going to be the best place to have a coaching conversation, or indeed the best time or environment. And that's because there are going to be lots of distractions, loads of distractions. So if you're in an environment where there's going to be phones going off, emails coming in, these are the sorts of things you're going to need to think about in terms of planning that coaching conversation and avoiding being unable to actively listen to the person that you're coaching. Now, when we're in that conversation, I think there are also a number of potential tricks that we need to remember. The first one is not to make any assumptions. Now, we all come with our own life experience, our own sets of information and all the rest of it we've picked up along the way. So being careful not to make assumptions about where the person you're coaching is coming from. Being careful not to rehearse the conversation if you've heard it lots of times before. Being careful not to filter the conversations for the things you want to hear or the particular milestones you predicted might come up when they introduce the topic they want to talk to you about. So assuming, rehearsing and filtering are they're real sort of trapdoors that you can fall down in a coaching conversation. And I've talked before on other videos that we've made about summarising, paraphrasing and reflecting back to show that you're awake, to show that you're actively listening and the person's really got your attention. If you can describe and reflect back what they've said, you are affirming with good eye contact that you're actively listening. So good eye contact, good body language, nice open posture, good rapport. That's essentially the key word when you're coaching, is building a rapport with a coachee. There is one other trap. Sometimes we might make judgments about the things that our coachees might say. So that's because we've all got those sort of hardwired values. We've all lived our lives, we all come from slightly different places. And it's incredibly difficult as a human being not to place judgment on what other people are saying. And as I've said before, body language is critical. So do be careful that you're not signalling any judgment to the person that you're coaching. So even a raised eyebrow when they describe how they feel about their colleague or whatever it might be can give away that you're making some judgment about what they're saying. So remember to keep your body language nice and open and nice and positive. So in summary, I guess active listening is about showing them that you're actively listening by reflecting, paraphrasing, summarising, the stuff we've talked about before. But importantly here, plan for distractions and avoid them. Don't make assumptions. Try not to rehearse the conversation in your own mind, and try not to filter for the sort of milestones we expect in repetitive conversations. And the big one, try to keep your body language nice and positive, nice and encouraging, and don't raise that eyebrow in judgment, because that can be a real bear trap. So I hope that's useful to you. Bit of information on active listening that I hope is useful to you in using coaching tools and techniques in the workplace.